thank all of you for coming. This is like deja vu for me because I ran 4 campaigns over the last 24 months or so, and they were all run out of this location. And fortunately, I won all 4 of them. So hopefully that's going to rub off on the person that I think we're all here to support. There are a lot of things that I think the speaker and I have in common. It's not that he's taller than me, but he comes from the same kind of background. He comes from a business background. He got into politics, and I think they've really done a really nice job up in Lansing. But today I am here to lend my support to him for governor of the state of Michigan. In my campaign for the city of Detroit, there were some focus points that I think were very necessary in order to turn our city around. For me, I think public safety was pretty much at the top of my list, but creating jobs, creating the right kind of business environment, making sure that education was at the top of our list, making sure that there was an urban agenda for the city of Detroit. And those are the things that are important to the speaker. So I think we are very, very aligned from a city of Detroit standpoint. And as he takes the leadership position for the state of Michigan, I do believe that there are a lot of things that we will do on a collaborative basis. So I'm really looking forward to working with him. I think he's going to be good for the state, and just as important, he will be very good for the city of Detroit. So I want to take this opportunity to formally give my endorsement for governor of the state of Michigan, Andy Dillon.
That's for you. You know, this means a great deal to me, Mayor. I do feel like a kindred spirit. It was in 2004, someone came to me and said, why don't you run for state representative? And I'd spent the prior 10 years seeing the jobs leave our state. It was just terrible. I covered the whole state, and I'd pull out of towns, and I'd look in the rearview mirror, and I'd know a particular company wasn't going to survive. And I'd look in that mirror, and I'd just wonder, where are those people going to go to work? And so I just went as a little innocent guy deciding to go see if I could lend some help to Lansing. And you made the same choice a few years ago to help the great city of Detroit that needed a leader. And I do view myself as a different kind of a leader, much along the lines of you, someone that's willing to reach across the aisle to get the state moving forward. We don't have time in the state to think about city versus suburb, Republican versus Democrat, business versus labor. We're all in the same boat together. This state has great assets. I'm running because I think we can turn it around. I'm certain you ran for mayor because you thought you could make a difference for the city of Detroit. And our challenges are aligned. And I want to make certain that we get the state turned around, but not just the state. In particular, we got to make certain our urban areas share in the recovery of this state, so that the residents of the city of Detroit, or Pontiac, or Saginaw, have an opportunity to get a job, to send their kids to a school that's not only safe, but provides them a great education, that their parents have access to a job and transportation and health care. The urban agenda is a critical piece of our agenda to turn the state around. And I look forward to the opportunity to work with you as a governor, whether it be you as the mayor of Detroit, or the mayor of Pontiac, or any of the great cities in the state, to make certain that every kid in the state has a chance for a future. I do believe we can turn this around. And I've shared this with some of you before, but I'll just tell you, this state is a great state. Now, we've had a rough 10 years. 50% of all job loss in the United States has happened right here in Michigan. And we've gone from a top 20 per capita income state to a bottom 10. That means we're poor. but we are left with some tremendous assets in the state. That knowledge-based economy that every state we compete with, every country we compete with, is sitting right here in Michigan. We are #2 in the country in research and development investment. So we got the brains here. To me, that will be the pipeline for the middle-class jobs of the future, and it's up to us, together, to preserve, protect, and grow that segment of our economy. We have a $70 billion agricultural industry. It's an opportunity for job growth and for job creation, even in the city of Detroit. Processing the raw materials that we raise and grow throughout this entire state can happen right here in Detroit, and I will do whatever I can to facilitate that and make certain people are willing to try and make an investment in Detroit to employ the people that live right in the city.
Yes!
There's two other things that I see. One is tourism. It's a quality of life thing. When I graduated from high school, I went to school in Indiana, lived in New York City, lived in Washington, D.C., worked with your old competitor there in the NBA, and then lived in Arizona. But I came back to Michigan because of the quality of life this place offers, and my family's here. I want my kids to stay here. And we talk about tourism in Michigan, and we kind of think of the Great Lakes and boating and fishing and hunting. But Detroit is also part of the tourism industry of Michigan. The stadiums that are here, the DIA, the museums, and the opera houses that we have. And Detroit has, an amazing supply of that type of entertainment, and it will attract people. And we need to invest in promoting Michigan to get people to travel here and take advantage of the great quality of life we have here. The last thing I see that says we can turn this around is the skilled workforce and the infrastructure we have. We have tremendous infrastructure. I'll just give you one example. But last summer, Ford Land asked me to come in and see the folks that want to take over the Ford Wixom plant. And they said, we'd rather go to Texas to make batteries and solar products. But they said, there's a 5 million square foot facility right here. It's turnkey. It's ready to go. You got a skilled workforce. We'll be 18 months ahead of the curve if we come to Michigan. If we get state government working right and in partnership with our cities to get our economic development arms coordinated so it's not fragmented, so that someone comes and says we want to make an investment in Michigan, that we give them basically a one-stop shop. We get the state stable and on solid footing. We can attract the investment to put our people back to work. And when we put our people back to work, then the foreclosures will start to stop. And I'll tell you, I've told the story, and I'll tell it just quickly. 2 years ago, my son Austin comes home and tells me, Dad, my best friend's leaving the neighborhood. And I said, what's going on? He says, well, his parents sold their home to the bank. He didn't know what a foreclosure was at the time. That's what gets me out of bed every morning, to fight to get the state turned around, because I know those parents. And I remember that day wondering the anxiety and the stress that they had to go through when they had to lose their home and uproot their kids out of the neighborhood where all their friends and family were. So it's tough, but I tell you the best way to stop foreclosure is to get our people back to work. And I tell you, I am committed to make certain that we do that. And I wanted to start right here in Detroit, and that's why today's endorsement means a great deal to me.